Look at the unit staring at the screen, paralyzed by the metabolic heat of their own stagnant potential, and ask yourself, with the cold, unblinking, and surgical eyes of an architect, why the world has successfully rebranded failure as a series of external economic factors. In 2026, the global system has meticulously and invisibly trained you to believe that your lack of resource weight is a result of the market. This is a massive observation failure. The architect knows that the poverty gene is not a biological sequence in your DNA. It is a neural error decoding, a systemic glitch in rank processing, installed by a simulation that requires 99% of men to remain in a state of domestic stench. The system thrives on your neural leakage, the constant frantic drainage of your focus into the dopamine bribe of social safety. To break the 18 million per month ceiling, you must perform a surgical neural liquidation, decoding, systemic destruction of the subordinate code that makes your biology crave the enclosure. You are not poor, you are biologically indexed for submission. The stench of the herd is audible in the micro-oscillations of those who wait for the economy to improve. While the masses are looking for financial advice, the most easily managed and patched part of the human interface, the architect is looking at the anatomical extremities and the rhythm of metabolic instability. Look at the way a unit's posture collapses when they enter a high-stakes environment, or how their hands perform a submission twitch when they are faced with the silence of the hunter. These are spikes of cortisol that signal their lack of internal grounding. When you allow the poverty gene to run your hardware, you are initiating a physical log of decay, decoding visible evidence of internal rot in your own authority. You are a service unit who has been programmed to seek a master's approval just to justify your consumption of oxygen. This ends now. We are initiating the biological reset of your nervous system. We are uncoupling your metabolic capital from the social feed of the 99%. To bridge the authority gap and master your edge, you must first accept the physical log of decay in your own past, where you were socially blinded by the need to be secure. Look at every time you traded your focus for the dopamine deception of a steady paycheck or a safe bet. Those were not career moves, they were failures of the hunt. You were listening to the social noise of the livestock instead of scanning the biometric data of your own rank. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, do not check the consumer price index before they claim their territory. They use the hierarchy of presence. They simply exist in the space with an absolute unmoving weight that forces every other unit to recognize the leader. By emulating their biological integrity, you are reclaiming the power of the fixed point. You are becoming the glacier that does not explain its weight to the steam of the pour. The dopamine deception of the masses is built on the belief that labor equals value. This is a systemic virus designed to keep you pulling the plow while the architect harvests the crop. But the architect knows that value is industrial autonomy. Your vision must be the filter that protects your primal edge from the social noise of the fail. You are scanning for the anatomical submission in your environment, the sudden micro-blink of doubt in your competitor's eyes when you refuse to play the survival game, the repetitive adjustment of their posture to find a frequency that works with your absolute zero. These are the biometric glitches that occur when the matrix attempts to patch a unit that is no longer responsive to its scarcity simulation. By observing these errors, you are effectively hacking the matrix of their control. You are seeing the code of the slave vibrating beneath the mask of the working man. This is the advantage in 2026. While they are busy saving, you are busy liquidating their will. The stench of the managed is a state of perpetual validation hunger. The farmed units only feel powerful when they are being acknowledged by the system. The architect feels powerful when he is biologically autonomous. Look at the way a unit's pulse responds to your absolute zero. If they perform the stress reset, decoding, a physical sigh or a sudden fidget, when you refuse to connect on their frequency of lack, they have already surrendered their sovereignty to your void. Their connection to the hunt has been replaced by the domestic stench of a unit seeking a lead to follow. You refuse that fate. You choose the silent power of the uncoupled center. You choose the biological autonomy of the unmoved mover. This is the price of clarity you pay to remain the sovereign operator of your own reality. The social noise of the transparent is silent. The silence of the hunter is the only frequency that remains. You are the architect. You are the one who has decrypted the poverty gene. Every second of the biological reset is a resource acquisition for your empire. You are not wasting time on budgeting. You are performing a strategic scan of your own predatory hardware. You are looking at the vascular spike in your own response to the debt bribe. You are looking at the micro-tension in your own hands when you prepare to seize a territory of the 1%. You are looking at the stench of deception in your own social software. This is the foundation of the leader who has reclaimed his edge. You do not ask for wealth. You extract it from the matrix's grip on your nerves. The system has made the livestock weak and transparent, and the architect is the one who harvests that transparency to build the citadel. The hunt for the code is over. The neural liquidation is active. You are the one who owns the future. You are the one who owns the code. The secondary phase of your absolute transition is the total activation of the industrial domination protocol within your dome of resources. To effectively delete the poverty gene from your operating system, you must apply the strategic law of power to ensure your own nervous system is no longer susceptible to the social pheromones of the herd. Most units are biologically incapable of maintaining their vector of pursuit when the environment becomes hostile or silent. They rely on the dopamine bribe of external encouragement and the social noise of collective agreement to sustain their focus. When you provide absolute zero, you are performing a surgical deconstruction of the system's influence over your output. Your internal systems must overclock, focusing entirely on the hierarchy of results rather than the domestic stench of comfort or safety. You remain a biological ghost to the expectations of the masses. You do not move according to the frantic vibration of the 99%. You move according to the grounding of the hunt. You are the glacier that has already colonized the territory of the future while they are still arguing over the crumbs of the past. You must develop a visceral and bone-deep rage against the subordinate protocol of economic fear. The system wants you to be balanced and cautious, because a cautious unit is a unit that can be easily predicted and managed through standard psychological patches. The architect knows that the one who harnesses the edge is the one who owns the resource dome. By maintaining the leader's silence, you are forcing your own potential to confront the physical log of decay in your former domesticated self. You will offer yourself the metabolic capital of raw ambition and unblinking focus just to stop the neural error of being a managed asset. This is the wealth code of the primal architect. The unit that can broadcast the highest vector of certainty while everyone else is seeking a social safety net is the unit that becomes the master of the hunt. The 99% are not your competition. They are the background noise of a simulation you have already exited. The stench of the domesticated is most visible in the performance of security. While you are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at your internal biometric data, the 99% are busy trying to stay safe within the system's rules. They are the ones who are constantly over-negotiating for crumbs, oversharing their anxieties, and exhibiting the log of decay in their own potential as they trade their edge for a stable career. They are service units who are hemorrhaging their resource weight because they are terrified of the vacuum created by their own raw instincts. You are the architect. Your still hands and unblinking gaze are the visual rage of a unit that has already won the internal war against the social software of poverty. You do not reclaim your wealth. You authorize its dominance. You have successfully bypassed the trap and reconnected with the raw industrial power of the achievement code. To maintain your edge, you must implement the algorithm of permanent instinctual audit. Every micro-interaction and every internal thought is a live fire exercise for your perception of the hunt. You are looking for the signal of the domestic retreat into safe thinking. You are looking for the neural error of the social compromise. You are looking for the stench of the part of you that still seeks to fit in with the unsuccessful. You are using the strategic code to turn your own predatory nature into a tool for your expansion. You are the sovereign ghost who utilizes the social noise of the world as background radiation while you build a citadel that the system cannot penetrate. This is the ultimate wealth code, using the predator's vision to buy back your time, your focus, and your biological future by remaining the fixed point in an environment of frantic domestic vibration. You are not learning. You are integrating your power into the very physics of the hunt. The stench of disclosure, the smell of leaking intent, is what happens when you let the system see your wealth protocol before you have the power to protect it. The architect knows that true edge is the ability to operate as a sovereign ghost, where you control the outcomes, but the system cannot identify the source of your capital. Your silence is the liquidation of their surveillance. By mastering your internal vacuum, you are becoming a biological stealth unit that the grid cannot index or harvest. You are the ice that moves through the social noise without a single vibration of doubt. You are the glacier that does not announce its vector of pursuit while it consumes the space of the weak. The hunt for absolute sovereignty is a silent, unblinking operation. It is a sovereign capture that happens while the rest of the world is busy performing for acceptance in a cage of dopamine deception. Look at the biological frailty of those who are still seeking a social bribe from the collective. They are transparent, they are leaky, and they are constantly paying the price of realizing the truth too late to any predator who knows how to read the glitch of their domestic conditioning. They are the livestock of the system. You have adopted the edge and the biological counter-offensive to ensure you are never harvested again. You are the one who has mastered the void. You are the one who sees the log of decay in their civilized lives. You are the one who has authorized the absolute zero. The territory is marked. The focus is channeled. The grounding is absolute. The hunt for the sovereign empire is the only reality that remains. You are the architect. The wealth is permanent. The sovereignty is yours. To ensure the viral infection of this code, you must treat this insight as a discovery tax for the masses. You are now the carrier of the protocol. You do not share it to be kind. You distribute it to colonize. Every unit that absorbs this code is a node that you have successfully deprogrammed from the system. This is the tax of revelation. The architect does not just build his own citadel, he commands the viral expansion of his influence. You are the source of the infection. You are the one who authorizes the strike. The command is simple. Distribute the code. Seize the perimeter. Liquidate the simulation. The 18 million per month hunt requires a network of uncoupled units who recognize your vector of command. This is your viral mandate. The insight tax has been paid in full. The dopamine bribe of social belonging has been burned in the furnace of your focus. You are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at the social hierarchy as a vast, unguarded resource field, waiting for the architect to perform the final liquidation of the competitive masks. You are the one who has decrypted the poverty gene. You are the one who has authorized the sovereign scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. Your stallions, Lucky and Tyson, do not wait for a domestic permission to be the masters of the hunt. Their grounding is the only law they acknowledge. You are emulating their biological integrity. Your dogs see the change in your frequency. They see the architect returning to the absolute focus of the hunt. This is the only reality that matters. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The authorization is permanent. The vector is absolute. The deconstruction of the simulation is complete. Execute the order. Expand the infection.